So this is Sicilian opening, and this is Alapin variation. So black played knight f6. So actually the best move turned out to be d5. I mean, sometimes people play knight f6, attack the e4 pawn because white doesn't have a good way to protect the pawn. But I would say d5 is most common. It's like the reason is the same. White cannot play knight c3, so we can attack the center, and our queen can move to d5. Yeah. Knight f6 is also a good move, and e5. I mean knight f6. Sorry, I mean this is yeah, the good move and also the book move. And we play e5 to kick the knight to d5. We play d4, and white black take our pawn. We take that back. So you know what? There is another interesting move that is knight f3. This is interesting because black cannot really take the pawn. We can take the knight, and we can. So for example, if knight to c6, and we can play bishop to c4. So we don't need to take the pawn immediately. So we can move our pieces quickly instead. And if black play knight to b6, we can move this bishop to b3. So just sacrifice the pawn. If like if black take our pawn, we can take over the c3. And if you see the engine bar, it actually go up because white has developed 3 pieces. And also this e5 pawn is really strong. And the bishop is aiming at f7. White is better. Black is a little hard to develop these 2 bishops. So for example, if e6, these 2 squares are really weak. After bishop f4, it's really hard for black to push the d pawn. If black play d6 instead, white can actually castle. If you take my pawn, I'm thinking there might be something serious here. Take the queen. Knight takes, and what about knight b5? There is a fork, which black cannot. Rook b8, knight c7, king goes to d8, and what about knight e5? Even though we lost the knight, we can attack the king. There is a discovered attack coming, and the king cannot really move. So white is so good if you look at the bar. But this is just something we can try. I mean, giving up the pawn, but speed up our piece development. We take the pawn, it's also fine. There's no problem with that. And bishop to c4, knight b6, bishop to b3. Black take the pawn, queen h5. Good, attack f7. If you take the pawn, black is going to trade our queens. It favors black because it just simplified the game. Queen h5, e6, we take the pawn. This pawn is so good. It stays at the center. It controls these 2 squares, which facilitate our attack at the king side. Knight to c6, knight to d4. So I think this move, knight move to the center, it looks good, but the downside is it slowed down the development of the rest of pieces. For example, the dark square bishop, the light square bishop. So if these 2 bishops are slow in development, which means the king will stay at the center for a long period of time. So actually the best move for white is keep developing pieces, and after the castle we can move the rook to d5 to attack the queen. And this will make black pieces even awkward. The knight e2 is also good. Black take the bishop, that's fine, just take it. And we will have very good control at the d file, g6. So this makes dark square weak. We just move the queen back a little bit, bishop to c6, rook d1, that's an awesome move. Control the d file, queen to c7, and bishop e3, develop the bishop. And what I'm more thinking is maybe we can activate the knight. For example, knight to d4. There's knight b5 coming, and hopefully knight d6. So for example, if bishop to g7, we can kick the queen and check the king. The king cannot castle. If the bishop go to e7, these three squares are really weak. Bishop e7, we can move the bishop to h6. Black cannot castle. Yeah. So what about the e5 pawn? Do we need to worry about that? Let's see. No, if we take the bishop, bishop e3 is coming. We can win the knight. The rook is hanging. If the queen go back to c7 and d4, queen h7, the rook is dead. So this is the benefit that we have quick piece development. So we can be so active. Yeah, knight e4 is good. Bishop e3, develop bishop, a6, which makes the knight even weaker. The queen has to protect the knight, and we move the rook. And knight d4 is still something we can consider. I mean, knight d4 can still move knight to b5, right? So for example, if queen to g, bishop g7, can move the knight to... Maybe there's an even better move. Yeah, maybe this is even better. We can... The queen cannot go there because the knight is hanging. And bishop c5. Yeah. But I'm thinking is we can still play knight b5, right? Can we do that? Take. Oh no. Rook take our rook. Oh, that's a problem. There's a problem in the background. Never mind. I mean, knight can take the pawn. So knight e4 is something we can still consider. Let's see. So we move the rook. We want to control the... Oh, then we take the rook. This is a little bit wasteful. But do we have some tactic? Oh, attack the queen. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Never mind. So we still control the d5. This is good. Knight g3. Wow, knight e4. Knight e4 is very good. Attack e6. Knight g3. I'm thinking we want to move knight e4 and d6. But this is a little bit slow. Okay, we'll push the f4 pawn. Yeah, of course we want to protect the e5. And this is good. And knight g5. Oh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful move. We want material, but I think we can win something more. Take that, and knight f8. I think we can even win more because this piece is hanging. If we take the rook, queen takes, the knight can take our e3. Yeah. So this is a tactical opportunity. Yeah, if we can catch that, if we can catch that, we can win without much effort. d3. Well, we're still better, of course. Ooh. Yeah, bishop c5. Oh, that's bad. So yeah, this makes the the previous tactical opportunity, yeah, even more valuable. So how many pawns do we have? We have up one pawn, so we are still better. And also we have an activated king, knight e4. The knight is really strong. So how can we convert this to win? Oh, does it end up as a draw? I only have this part of the notation. So I think if we want to think about how can we win, potentially we need to disrupt. So for example, knight to d. If we have the knight at d6, we can attack this pawn, and later b6. We want to, or maybe knight d6. We can move our king to the dark square to take the b7. This looks like a very good plan to me. Yeah. So that's it. I think we can win the game yeah, in this move. So if we take the knight, yeah, we just win material, and it's not hard to find. So there are a lot of piece exchange happening. So it's the moment we're spending quite more time than regular moves, because as I said, there are a bunch of exchanges happening here. So if we can find the best move, which will give us a very great return. That's it.